Praise Yah, brothers and sisters. Praise the Most High, the Sovereign One, the Almighty One, the one who has all power, who has the final word, the one whom we look to for favor and strength and the power to conquer. For it is Him that we win. We win in Yah. Today our topic is, these signs shall follow those who believe. Reading in Mark 16, beginning with verse 17. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. So then, after Yahushua had spoken unto them, he was received up into heaven, and sat on the right hand of Eloah. And they, his taught ones, went forth and preached everywhere, Yahuwah working with them and confirming the word with signs following. These signs shall follow them that believe. Cast out devils, speak with new tongues, take up serpents, and if we drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt us. And we should be laying hands on the sick and seeing them recover. John 14, beginning with verse 10. Do you believe not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwells in me, he does the works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go to my Father. And whatsoever you shall ask me in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be honored in the Son. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. If we ask anything in his name, he shall do it. Matthew 10, beginning with verse 1. And when he had called unto him his 12 taught ones, he gave them power against unclean spirits to cast them out, and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the Gentiles and into any city of the Samaritans, into you not, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Yisrael. And as you preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely you have received, freely give. Mark 11. And on the morrow when they were come to Bethany, he was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off having leaves, he came, if haply he might find anything thereon. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of the figs was not yet. And Yahushua answered and said unto it, No man eat fruit of you hereafter forever. And his disciples, his taught ones, heard it. And in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Kepha, calling to remembrance unto him, said, Master, behold, the fig tree which you cursed is withered away. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Have faith in Eloah. For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be removed, and be cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he says shall come to pass, he shall have whatever he says. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire when you call on him, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. But we have to be in the same mind that Yahushua had. Remember, have that same mind in us that was in him, which was what? To always do the will of the Father. Matthew 18, beginning with verse 18. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in the Shamayim, and whatsoever you loose on Haaretz shall be loosed in Shamayim. Again, I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth, the Haaretz, as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in the Shamayim. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Matthew 11, beginning with verse 2. Now, when Yochanan, the immerser, who heard and was in prison the works of Yahushua. He sent two of his disciples, his taught ones, and said unto them, go and show. No, he said unto him, are you he that should come, or do we look for another? So he sent his disciples to go and ask Yahushua, are you the one that is to come, that's been promised to come, or do we look for another? Remember, the immerser was in prison, knowing that he was getting ready to die, getting ready to give his life. And like with any of us as humans, we have thoughts that come through our minds when we're in dire strait like that. And he knew who he was. Remember, he announced it to everybody who he was. But yet towards the end, he just needed reassurance. He already knew. But we do that sometimes, don't we? Sometimes to a fault. Some women, some men, they ask their partner time and time again, do you love me? Do you love me? How much do you love me? Okay, stop that. Okay, I'm minding people's business. But really, stop it. We have to know what we know. But that's the humanity that we have, I guess. Anyways, getting back on topic. So Yahushua answered and said unto them, go and show him again those things which you do hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear, and the dead are raised up, and the poor have the good news of the kingdom. Okay, now somewhere, purposefully though, it happened, the message, the good news that they call Gospel, Godspell, but the good news was not about the kingdom. It was about lifting up a man, Yahushua. Even though he's the Ben of Yahuwah, he and the Father are one. And he himself didn't lift himself up. He always pointed men to the Father, right? He never talked about himself. Paul wrote that he did not seek after a reputation. Though he didn't think it was robbery to be equal with Yahuwah, because he knew he was Yahuwah. They're one, right? Here is Yisrael. He's one. They're one. So the good news that he's talking about is preaching is the kingdom, not him, his personage. And even though he said, he taught his taught ones, whatever you ask in my name, it shall be done for you. But that's the name. His name is like the key. He's not lifted himself up. Use my name, because I've come and conquered the world. I have deprived it from having victory over you. The peace I give to you, the world can't give you. So his name is the key. But we don't lift him up above and beyond Yahuwah, the Father, the one in which he is one. How many times did he not say that? He said it so many times. I and my Father are one. So anyway, so he says, go back and tell him everything you've seen, everything that's been done. And the poor have the good news preached to them. The good news of the kingdom. I'm putting that part in there, because that's what he preached. He didn't preach himself. He preached the kingdom. Okay. And then he says, and Baruch is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. Okay, so everything he did, he had sent his taught ones out to do the same thing while he was still here on the earth. He sent them out to do the same works that he was doing. Luke 10:17. And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Master, even evil spirits are subject unto us through your name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from Shamayim. Behold, I give you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. And nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in the Shamayim, in the Lamb's book of life. Wow. So no matter what, when we are doing these works, that's not where our focus is going to be. Our focus is going to be in making sure our name stays written in the Lamb's book of life. Psalms 91, we shall tread upon the lion and the adder. Remember? And the young lion and dragon shall we trample underfoot. These are signs that should be following us. But that's not where we're at. I mean, we don't hear it being taught. The ones that are doing it today, we don't know if it's of Yah or if it's a prank or if it's, the enemy doing some of his stuff. Because remember, the magicians who worked for Pharaoh, they did one or two things that Moshe was able to do. The thing about it is, the ones they did do, they couldn't undo. So I saw something on YouTube the other day, and I'm like, I don't know. And it was showing this girl supposedly delivering this little boy from demons. And that's great. That's great because we're supposed to be doing that. But you know what? Remember those people who told Yahushua, but didn't we do this in your name and do this in your name? And he says, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. He didn't say they didn't do it. He didn't say that they didn't raise the dead, heal the sick. He didn't say they did not. He said they didn't do the will of the Father. So, and in here, in Luke 10, he told them, don't be rejoicing because the spirits are subject to you, but rather rejoice that your name are written in the Shamayim, in the Lamb's book of life, is what he's saying. Because remember in his own, he talks about the people whose names are not written, found, he said, found in the Lamb's book of life, they're going to take the mark of the beast, worship the beast, and take the number of the beast. So we want our name there. That's what we want, no matter what we can do here on earth. The main thing is live the life that pleases the Father, doing his will. Oh my, okay. Brothers and sisters, I don't know about you, but I just keep realizing more and more that no matter how I might be measuring up in one area, there's so much more to do. I'm listening to him about this message about the bride getting herself ready. Well, the scriptures say she made herself ready. We right now are making ourselves ready. So because when she's presented, she has made herself ready. So we're right now supposed to be working on it. What do our garments look like? Are they still spotted and wrinkled? We have work to do. I have work to do on me anyways. So we know there's some things coming on the earth. We know there's 3.5 years, 42 months, 1,260 days of tribulation. 42 months. Which seems longer, 42 months, 1,260 days, or 3.5 years? It's all the same measurement in man's time, but just sometimes 42 months sounds less, but it doesn't matter. The thing about it is we have to endure to the end. We have to endure to the end. But when you see those different time frames, they're all the same. They're all the same time frame. And sometimes it says times plus times and half a times. Sometimes it says like that too. I think that's how it goes. Okay. So in Psalms 91, it lets us know some of the things that are coming. Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21. And Hazon has also shared with us some things that are coming. Psalm 91 says we're told that Yah will deliver us from the snare of the fowler. That sounds like deception. He will deliver us from the snare of the fowler, that evil one. Then there's a noisome pestilence. Well, I looked up noisome, and it means offensive or disgusting, as an odor and a harmful, noxious, stinking pestilence, which is we know what that is, right? It's a fatal epidemic disease, evil influence or agent, pestilence. But anyways, it's a noisome pestilence. So let's put this together. It's a offensive, disgusting, odorous, harmful, noxious, stinking, fatal epidemic disease. Oh my goodness. There's one that says coming in about a year and a half. Is that going to be that one? Or is that just one of the many that's coming? We know that the seals have been opened, and there's 2 horsemen who have been given power to cause a lot of deaths on the earth. And so how are they going to be coming? All types of different ways, right? I just heard a report. I didn't even finish listening to it. It was early this morning, about something that's been approved by that 3-letter place that approves things in our grocery stores to be sold. That there's this covering that's been approved to be put on our fruits and vegetables, and yet there's been no testing to see the harm of it. And supposedly that is being put on to what do they say, to preserve it. Really? To preserve it. Wow. Wasn't that something? Well, there's all types of things being done. Some things are not even being approved. Can you see that? Yeah. That's what that's called. That's supposed to be being put on the fruits and vegetables. She said even organic. So I don't know. You know what? We can't run from what is going to happen. We can't run from it. So if we're going to run, we need to be running to that secret place of the Most High. The name of Yahuwah is a strong tower, and the righteous runs in, and he is safe. He is preserved. He is protected. He is covered. We can't, there's, bunker underground, closets and closets full of food, whatever we might think we can do. It's going to take knowing Yahuwah, knowing his promises, and most of all, him knowing us more than we know him. Because that's why those people didn't make it in, because they thought they knew him, and he said he didn't know them. And then the 5 wise were brought in to the marriage supper, but the 5 foolish, when they did go get their oil and come back, he told them, I don't know you. Oh, my. Whew. All right, so going back to Psalms 91. So what did he say? Okay, so we know there's going to be deception, because he's going to deliver us from the snare of the fowler. There's a noisome pestilence. Oh, my. So what that means is going to be sores. Oh, the other day, too, I saw someplace in California, there was some bees that were, on an aggressive attack, and the city called in a bee keeper, and he said even when he got there, he got attacked, but of course he was dressed for it. But this man, a volunteer police officer, he was stung so many times, he was running trying to get in his car. He couldn't even get in his car, and he ended up falling out. He had to be put in the hospital for many days. I don't know if he might be still there, because it just happened. They broke an eye socket, and they were stinging him everywhere. And I thought, oh my, this is reminding me of when the locusts are going to be released. And if those who do not have Yahuwah's seal in their forehead, only those who have the seal of Yah in the forehead are going to be protected from the locusts. And they're going to sting men for 5 months? Yeah, I think it's 5 months. Okay, so during the time of what's coming, there's going to be deceptions, but Yah's going to deliver us from the snare of the fowler. There's going to be a noisome pestilence. There's going to be terrors by night. He says, you will not be afraid for the terror by night. So there's going to be terrors by night, which that could mean anything. Bombing, shootings, who knows what it's going to be like, but it's terrors by night. And it could be night terrors, but I think it's going to be actually action that's going to, we can be able to hear outside our place of residence. The arrows that fly by day, that's still, even when he's always shooting arrows, what type of arrows, I don't know, but still, okay, war zone type. Look, we got terror by night, we got arrows flying by day. There's pestilence that are going to be walking in darkness. Destruction that's going to waste at noonday. And then we're going to be seeing 1,000 fall at our side and 10,000 at our right hand. And even though it's not going to come near us, we're going to be seeing the devastation of it. Can you see now why in Hazel he says he's going to dry the tears from our eyes? Oh my. Only with our eyes will we behold and see the reward of the wicked. The trauma that's going to be there. And so we have to encourage ourselves in knowing that we who know Yahuwah, who are believers, have power to not be taken over. First of all, we know his name, so we can call on him in his name. We know him. If we know him and he knows us, and we have become one with him as he's with the Father, as he was talking to the Father in Yochanan 17, he said, to allow us to be one with them. So when we are in the right place, we learn how to do all the secret place, and we're in the right place, and we believe what he's told us in the verses I've already read, in Mark and in Matthew and in Luke, the power that we have in his name, we will, and also in doing his will, being his, having his seal on our forehead, we are going to be protected. Now, we know many are going to give their lives, and we might be among them. But as long as we stand, it's not about, we're not defeated because we're laying down our lives, because we have the choice. We will have the choice to defect and go to the other side. So if our life is taken, it's a mortal being, creation that's going to go back to the dust. Our spirit man is what's going to live on. So we don't have to be trying to be some mighty one that lasts till the end. The enduring to the end is not necessarily our physical body. It is our spirit. It is our mindset. It is our allegiance. That's the enduring to the end. It's not about this body still being standing when Yahushua comes back and splits the sky. No, that's not it. That's not it. It's about us being aligned with the Almighty in spirit and in truth. So, recap as I close. We can tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and dragon shall we trample on the feet. If any two of us agree on earth as touching anything that we ask, it shall be done for us by the Father who is in the Shamayim. And then whatever we bind on the Aretz shall be bound in the Shamayim. Whatever we loose on the Aretz shall be loose in the Shamayim. Everything we desire, when we call on him, if we believe that we receive them, we have them. You know what? And Yochanan mentioned that in 1 John chapter 5 verse 14. He says the same thing. If we have confidence that he hears us when we call to him, or we request him, and then we have it. Then Yahushua said that we can tell a mountain to be removed and cast into the sea. If we don't doubt, but shall believe, then what we say, it shall come to pass. And we'll have whatever we say. We can heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. He said, if you believe on me, the works that I do, we can do also, and greater works than these shall we do, because he's going on to the Father. And then he says, in my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. Now, we don't purposely be drinking poison, but if we drink something that we didn't know, like in these days, it could be that, because even like Naaman, when he went to go dunk in that water, he didn't want to go in that water. He thought that was the worst body of water in the area, but he became obedient and went and did it. Well, when he first went down for that first dunk, doesn't mean that he got his healing then, because if he did, why didn't he do it 7 times? And then he could have, and then it was just obedience to keep doing it 7 times. But whatever. So we can head to a body of water that might not look good. It might not like, but Yah said go drink that water. Then by the time it gets to our mouth, it can be whole, healed, cleaned for us to be able to drink it. We have to believe that all things are possible. With him, all things are possible. He is still doing great things. He is still in that business of doing great things. But we don't purposely drink poison and say, I'm a believer, I'm going to drink this. We don't purposely pick up serpents. But if one like Paul had, Saul, he had an experience. And they looked at him because when that viper bit him, he didn't die. And they expected him to die. That's what he's talking about. So if we can start trying to practice and remember, we can bind things. We can bind things if they're bringing an attack. You know, and that's what Dawood did a lot of times in the way he was talking to Yahuwah about his enemies. You know, pretty much like bind up their activities that they do not prosper. You know, bring confusion to their camp. Cause them to trip up on their own traps. You know, those kind of things. We can bind. We can stop the evil activities from taking place if we remember the power that we have in doing that. We can loose blessings. If money is being tied us, we can speak that it be loosed. You know, if an answer that we need seems like it's prolonged and making its way to us, we can speak that it be loosed. Those kind of things, he's given us that so we can live on this earth and be victorious. And when 2 or 3 gather together in his name, he's in the midst of them. And if 2 touch and agree on anything on the Haaretz, it shall be done for them in the Shamayim. So we have powers. These signs shall follow them that believe. And speaking in new tongues before I close. I think people are more afraid of that than the serpents. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. Seek him about it. He said these signs shall follow them that believe. Why we want to be left out of anything that's ours? It's part of our inheritance. When he left, because remember right after he spoke that's when he went up to be with the Father. So anyways, I am closing. Just wanted you to remember these scriptures and know that they're real in our lives. He didn't just have them to fill up a page. This is some of the stuff, you know, the whole armor a few months ago, and I can't tell you really, you'll have to hear from him, but there's something about that whole armor that we're told about in Ephesians 6, and then 2 other places is mentioned, just bits and pieces of the armor that vary just a little bit. But anyways, talk to him about the armor. The main thing is us being covered by the blood of the Lamb, just like that blood covering kept them from being killed that night in Mizraim. His name is a covering, it's a high tower, it's a shelter. His truth in Psalms 91 says his truth is our shield and our armor. So we have to know who we are in him. We live in enemy territory. Let's remember that we live in enemy territory. So their laws that are governed are not the same laws that are in the kingdom that we're in. And remember, Yahushua said in Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21, that kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. What do you think those kingdoms are? The 2 main kingdoms. All right, brothers and sisters, we win in Yah, and we win in Yah the more we start believing this. Years ago, the assemblies I used to attend taught this heavily, and we did see signs. We did see things. We saw people healed. I'm a witness to some of the healing. even my own self. And so we have to start doing that again. We have to start doing it again, because are we really going to be able to? No. Mm-mm. No. When times get bad and we cannot, because we're not, fill in all the blanks for me, then we're gonna have to have a connection with the Most High, right? Right? We're gonna have to have a connection. We're gonna have to be able to put our hands on a cut or gash that might be open, and put our hands on and speak healing, and watch the skin come back together, right? We might have to speak to some water that doesn't look clean and healthy. We might have to speak to it. We might have to tell a mountain to be removed. So we got to start knowing who we are. All right, victory in Yahuwah. Doesn't seem like I've been talking for over 30 minutes. Praise y'all. We went in, y'all. Until next time, brothers and sisters, let's be encouraged. Let's be encouraged. Let's be encouraged. When he brings things to us about that time that's coming, let's seek him further on it. All right, then. I love you in Yahuwah. May we all endure to the end. Praise Yah. Hallelujah. Ashe. Ashe. Selah. Shalama. We win in Yah.